Hi there, this is Ray Higdon with Numis Network, and today I'm going to go over the presentation for Numis Network. This is a refreshing network marketing company that where we're creating the category in a home-based business arena, and we have a whole lot of people excited. First, I'll tell you my story. Currently, as of this recording, I've been in Numis Network for 13 months, and I'll tell you, I am a recovering real estate investor from Florida. I got into real estate a few years ago, and of course, it was good when times were good, and I didn't find myself adapting quick enough to be okay. And so before Numis Network, I was financially pretty much destroyed, and I really didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to generate an income. And to be honest, I didn't know it would be from a network marketing company, but what I saw with Numis Network is I saw something refreshing, something that had never been done, and something that just made business sense. It was a network marketing company that had a product that I actually uh, liked, you know? And so I'm so grateful for having come into this company and had the faith because back then, we were a very new company, didn't have a whole lot of resources, and now, of course, we have a very, very fast-growing company that I'm going to share with you. Now, before you invest your time, your heart, your energy into something, I think you should know from where it came. And so I'm going to share with you who the founders of Numis Network are, and that's Jake, Chris, and Ian. These guys each have over 20 years experience in network marketing. In fact, Jake was the #1 income earner in a health and wellness company. He ended up buying that company and since sold that off to his partner a few years ago. Now, Ian and Chris, pretty unique situation there. For the last decade, they've owned a company called IDSTC, stands for International Direct Selling Technology Corporation. That is a company that provides software solutions to other network marketing companies. In fact, over the last 10 years, they've actually helped create over 400 compensation plans for network marketing companies. So think about that. If you had done something for a decade and 400 other companies, and you decide to create your own, wouldn't you just put together the best of all worlds? And that's exactly what they've done. Now, some people ask, why would these guys create a new business in the worst economy since the Depression? Well, that is the time for network marketing to thrive. Now is the time where there are people out there that network marketing may be the only option for them. Maybe they can't afford a franchise. Maybe they've lost their job. Now is the all-time, just best time that people are looking for alternative incomes. They're looking for things. And network marketing is an avenue that doesn't check your credit, that doesn't ask for references, that doesn't care if you're in foreclosure or not. And it's something that's very powerful that anybody can do. No matter where you've been or where you currently are, anybody can do network marketing. And this is the kind of economy that allows network marketing to grow. But you know what? Let's talk about the economy. You're seeing inflation, you're seeing recoveries, you're seeing bailouts. Did you get your bailout? I didn't get my bailout check. I didn't get $1 billion or anything. Probably if you're watching this, you also didn't get a $1 billion bailout for being incompetent. Isn't that interesting? If you're really big and really incompetent, you get bailed out. But of course, us working stiffs, we don't get bailed out. And so, record deficits, a lot of problems going on. And I'm not a doom and gloom guy. I'm really not. I'm not here to beat you up. I'm telling you what you already know. A lot of people have had their personal savings wiped out, record levels of unemployment, record bankruptcies, record foreclosures, and it's just not looking good. Now, most people rely on plan A. And that's go to school, get a job, save for retirement, and retire happy, right? Well, that plan A has been working less and less and less and less. There's such a small percentage of people that plan A actually works out that I would say this is now the minority. And there's a great book out there, and you'll hear me mention him a few times, but there's a great new book out there by Robert Kiyosaki called Conspiracies of the Rich. And he actually details how and why our public education system was created. You see, back in 1903, John D. Rockefeller was head of the Education Board, and he helped form today's public education system. Do you know why he did that? He did it so that he could have more competent factory workers, so they could read, write, do arithmetic. So our public education system is created for you to work for somebody, for you to be a good employee. That's how our public education system was founded in 1903. And so it's important to understand that all this time you've been trained to work for somebody else. Now, the reality of Plan A is most people retire broke. In fact, they say 95% of people are less than 90 days away from bankruptcy. They say the average Social Security payment is $497 a month. It's not a lot to live on, guys. And so you got Plan B. Start your own business. Be that self-starter. Or buy an existing business or buy a franchise. Well, you know, a lot of people have done that. And, you know, speaking of franchises, you got to have some money. You got to have some coin. You know, to buy a Subway, you got to have about $90,000. That doesn't include the salami and the pepperoni. To buy a Domino's franchise, you got to have about $250,000. And let me tell you, today's economy, banks aren't lending you much money. You got to have some coin in your pocket to be able to buy one of those things. But here's the reality. Even if you do, there's high startup cost. There's a lot of money in supplies. You better have a big cushion. You're having more and more, you know, and I don't want to get political here, but the current atmosphere of this country is hitting small business owners harder. It's hurting the people that are providing jobs. There's a lot of people that if you're a small business owner, you're now paying higher employment taxes, you're paying higher, you know, more regulations. And here's what I know about being a business owner, because I've been one. Typically, the business ends up owning you. You don't own the business. You got to go in there and work your butt off. You got to roll up your sleeves and go to work, and you literally have absolutely no time freedom. Now, here's the real unfortunate part. Even if you do all those things right, 9 out of 10 will be out of business within 5 years. That's tough. 90% failure rate. That's pretty tough. Even if you buy the systems of a franchise. That's an unfortunate percentage. Now, a gentleman out there that I've already mentioned named Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It is the #1 personal finance education book of all time. He's sold over $25 million worth of books. The guy knows what he's doing. And he breaks down that there are 4 types of people when it comes to business. You have an employee on the E side, you have self-employed, you have big business, and you have investor. Well, let's talk about this. You know, E, we already know that, you know, doesn't work. You know, that's your plan A. E, right? Being an employee. And, you know, that's something that just doesn't work. Jobs create temporary income. So we're not really going to talk about that because this is about building wealth. Now, you have self-employed. That's where the business typically ends up owning you. You know, you're a I can do it kind of guy and a lone wolf, and you build a business. And that's certainly, in my opinion, at least better than being an employee, but still a lot of work, still a high failure rate. Then you have big business. Now, Kiyosaki suggests as soon as possible and with as least risk as possible, getting your side to the right side of that quadrant. Big business is defined as you earn money on the efforts of 500 plus people. You know, so that could be a big company with 500 employees. That could be whatever. You're earning efforts off the time. You're earning money off the time and efforts of 500 plus people. Or be an investor. Now, have you ever noticed that the wealthiest people seem to work the least? You ever notice that? Why is that? It's because they have their money working for them. You want to be an investor. You know, if you can, you got to have money. Let's talk about that. Let's say, let's say you have $1 million. And what's a typical, let's say you just want to live off the interest. What's a typical interest rate you can earn? 1%, 1.5%, 2%. You know what? Let's say, just for argument's sake, I would argue that you'd have a tough time finding this consistently, but let's say you can get 6% on your money. Well, $1 million, 6%, it's about $60,000 a year, right? So that's $5,000 a month. If you had $1 million in the bank, you would generate $5,000 a month in interest that you could live off. $5,000 a month if you have $1 million, that's not that great of a lifestyle, is it? Now, it may be better than what you currently have, but $5,000 a month, you're not sailing around the world, right? And so $1 million, I want you to think about that. If you have $1 million in savings and you get a really amazing rate of 6%, you'll make $5,000 a month, okay? And I'll come back to that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And so Robert Kiyosaki actually came out with this book called The Business of the 21st Century, where he talks all about network marketing. Now, wait a minute. Here's a guy that sold $25 million in personal financial education books, and he's recommending network marketing? Well, he's not the only one. You see, Trump and Kiyosaki, you may have heard of Don, the Don, right? Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki teamed up, and they wrote a book called Why We Want You to Be Rich, okay? And they talk all about, in fact, they have a chapter dedicated to network marketing. You even have Warren Buffett throwing his hat in the ring, talking about network marketing and how powerful it is. And so let's talk about this plan B. What about network marketing? Well, here are some of the advantages of network marketing. You have training and support systems in place. You're not alone. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You got low risk. Typically for a few $100s, you have a business in a box. Try to start your own business for $500. You'll probably pay more than $500 in licensing and government stuff. You know, for less than $500, you can typically have your own network marketing business. It's easy to start. You can work it as part-time as you want. You work where you want. Here I am at my house, which is where I work and where I've worked for the last 13 months, and you have significant tax advantages. You know, if you just have a home-based business, you can write off so many more things than if you don't. Unlimited profit potential and residual income. That means earning money on the efforts of others. Now, typically, what have been your options in network marketing? Well, cosmetics, skincare, you've had nutrition and weight loss, very competitive market. Okay, you know, there's actually over 4,000 network marketing companies in nutrition and weight loss. Household products. You know, you could slang some laundry detergent. You could do some, you know, different things like that. Some soap, maybe. Diapers, maybe. Technology products. You know, what's hilarious about technology products, typically by the time the MLM has gotten approved, the technology is obsolete. You know, I had someone talking to me about a technology service and tell me how great it was, and I said, well, I use Skype for free. You know, so technology has been tough because technology, in this point in our world, technology moves so fast that it's hard for a company like that to really keep up. And then, of course, you have services, financial travel, discount programs. Not a lot of exciting services. You know, think about that. With the services, with the technology, with the consumable products, once it's consumed, it's gone. And you know, most products and services eventually, they expire, they go bad, or you just don't have anything tangible, they go away. So what if you could have a product that everyone wants, everyone loves, it's exciting, competitors can't make a better one, has lasting value, will last forever, can be shared for generations and actually passed down to your kids, and demand is at an all-time high? What if you could have that product? And to top it off, it has never been done in network marketing ever.